Hello, and welcome to this month's Safety Minute. For this month's Safety Minute, I want to get away from my normal safety message, and I want to give you something more inspirational. And I want to talk about anger. And the reason I want to talk about anger is it is an emotion that every single person in this world is going to deal with. Not only are there going to be times when we are angry, but there's going to be times when people are angry at us. And the more you understand anger, the better off you are at controlling it. And the very first thing I want to share with you about anger is where it comes from. Anger comes from when you have something in your life happen that you could not prepare for. I call it in simple ways when your life changes really fast. That is how we deal with anger. It helps us to move through those changes in our lives. But if we don't understand anger, it's going to come out of us in very destructive ways. And we've all seen those destructive ways that anger can come out of people. But it's a normal emotion. It's a natural emotion. It's how we deal with change in our lives. But what's happening with anger is when your life changes really fast, you start dealing with this emotion. And the first thing you need to know about anger is it's going to come out of you one way or another. It can either be an uncontrolled release of energy or it can be a controlled release of energy. And how it comes out of you is up to you. The way I look at the uncontrolled release of energy, it's like filling up a balloon full of air. You put too much air into a balloon and eventually it's going to explode. Well, you put too much anger into you and eventually that emotion has to come out of you. You can't keep swallowing it forever. And when it comes out of you, it explodes. And that's when we do things and we say things that we didn't mean to say and do. We're just letting this emotion out of us because our lives changed in ways we didn't want it to change. But unfortunately, when those explosions happen, we hurt the people we love. We hurt those that are trying to help us through it. And then they get tired of being dumped on. And eventually they just stopped helping us. And anger then, that's at that moment it wins. Because when anger separates your relationships from you, when it takes away the things that are there that are trying to help you through your life changing really fast, you're now weakened. You don't have that same ability, the same skill sets, the same people to rely on to help you move through those tough times in your life. And let's face it, everyone's going to have a bad day. In fact, you've had so many bad days, you probably can't remember them all. And if you've had so many bad days that you can't even remember, what's to say from this point to the rest of your life you are never going to experience another bad day? Bad days are universal in people's lives, which means everybody's going to deal with anger. So why not learn how to control it? Instead of filling up that balloon until it can no longer take any energy and eventually it explodes, learn to release that energy on your own. And when you can identify when those bad days happen, when your life changes really fast, you can now say, I'm going through the process of anger. I know what's going to happen. And now it's time for me to start releasing that energy. The way I deal with anger is I go get physical. I go take it out on my health. I go for really long walks. I start working out. I exhaust myself. And what I have found is when I exhaust myself with that physical energy, it also allows me to dump that negative energy. And an interesting thing is, when I'm working out and I'm taking out that energy, it allows my mind to start processing. And I start finding solutions to what's going on in my life. And then you don't have to work out though. Meditate, do yoga, crafts, sports, and things you love to do. The key is it has to be dumping physical energy. It doesn't have to be hard energy, just dumping energy. And you'll know it's working when your mind starts to drift off and you start to process what's going on in your life. And by dumping that negative energy, what I have found is that when I get home to my family, I am so exhausted and all that energy has been dumped. I don't have the energy to take out that anger on them because I've already got rid of it. And this is my rule. I take anger out on the things I can't hurt, so that when I go home, I can be there for the people I could have hurt. And when you learn to release that anger, you will then be able to hold on to things in life worth holding on to instead of pushing them away. That balloon full of energy, the anger doesn't have to come out through an explosion. It can also come out the same way you put it into that balloon, through the opening. And let it out that way in a slow, controlled release. And what you'll find out is when you can release anger in positive ways, it invites those people that are there to help you through those things in your life. It invites them into your life. It holds on to them. It gives you skill sets so that the next time your life gets hard, you have better talents and abilities to be able to get through that time. It makes you resilient and it gives you strength. And when you finally get through that bad day, you'll have all the people that you love around you still with you. You don't need to push people away. You don't need to turn to addictions. You don't need to seclude yourself into a house. You don't need to turn to depression or anxiety. All you need to do is control the anger when it occurs naturally within you. And when you do that, I think you'll find anger can be a very, very positive emotion that will move you through those events in your life. Now, I hope you enjoyed this safety minute. If you want more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to bring me out to your workplace to talk about safety, motivation, resiliency, go to spencerspeaks.ca. And until the next safety minute, stay safe.